Welcome to the UFC Vegas Gamrot Southfield breakdown. It's a decent card. It's back on U.S. time, so it's a 8 p.m. Eastern start. We'll start with the first fight of the night. It's Juliana Miller taking on Ravina Oliveira. Miller is a pretty big favorite at minus 340.
So I like Miller in this one. I think she has a lot more experience in the octagon. Doesn't have the best record, but she's actually been a lot tougher lately. I do like her. She's a big favorite. So actually, I have her parlayed with another fight that gets you decent value. But I do like Miller in this one.
Okay, I took her as a parlay piece as well. And I was actually just looking. I'm flirting with Juliana Miller round one or two sub at plus 225 right now. I don't love it, but I kind of like to have something on the first fight of the night, so I might take that. But it's just kind of a woman's 115 fight isn't a fight that I love doing anything inside the distance, so I might skip it as well. Fight two of the night is Miles John taking on Jesse Rosas, who is I believe the older brother of Chiwiwi. I don't know if he's has the pedigree wrestling that he does, but he's taking on a guy that who has a ton of UFC fights in Miles John. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard much or seen enough from Chiwiwi's brother to go against Miles John in this one. I think you're getting a decent number. A lot of that, I think, is because Miles really hasn't had the best record in the UFC, but he's a gamer. He's in most of his fights. He's pretty well rounded. So if it is a wrestling match, he's actually pretty good there. His stand up's decent. I don't know if this will be a banger of any sorts. But I think at minus 160, which I got him at, I think Miles John's a pretty good bet on this one. I have a unit on there.
I agree. I think he is a very tough first matchup in the UFC. He's very experienced, and I have not seen Rosas fight at all, but all the research and everything I've hearing about him is he's not very talented. So I actually came to Miles John inside the distance plus 320. The guys that Rosas has fought and won are just like nobodies. They're guys that are like 0-2, 0-3. So I'm just thinking this is too big of a jump up in competition and hoping for inside the distance. I'll also have him at minus 160 and probably in a parlay or two, but I haven't officially decided on my parlays quite yet. The third fight of the night is Manuel Sosa taking on Richie Miranda. Sosa's a pretty big favorite at minus 290 right now. Miranda plus 230. What do you think on this one, KJ?
So for this fight here, I had a hard time picking a side on this one. A lot of the lines that I was seeing on here were for under a round and a half, getting you plus money. I'm a little scared of that. I do think both guys come in and bring a lot, whether it be on the feet or on the ground. So I do see this one finishing inside the distance. If you can get this fight, which I got it at, for Lope Sousa to not go the distance, you're getting it at minus 125, which I think is pretty good value because I don't see it going to the judges. I like that for a unit, minus 125.
Okay, I like that a lot because I am a little worried that my pick, I have Sosa inside the distance at plus 105. I'm a little worried he gets caught and knocked out himself, but I think he'll be able to find the knockout. He's just too powerful. And I think getting that at plus money is decent odds. I'm also debating throwing him in a parlay or two at minus 300 or minus 290. So we'll see what I come up with that on my official picks. This next fight of the night is a tough one to judge. Louis Sutherland taking on Jose Montana. Sutherland is minus 185 right now. I think he's kind of tough to have him as a favorite against anyone, but I guess this is a pretty inexperienced guy. What do you think about this one?
So for this fight here, I don't know a ton about Jose Montana. I'm strictly going off the last fight of Sutherland, which I thought was an absolute embarrassment. The fight against Tuivasa, which wasn't that long ago. So at plus money, and this is maybe a bias because I'm really just hoping that Sutherland gets knocked out. But I'm going with Montana plus 160 for a unit. I like that.
Okay, I don't hate that. I had a different fighter written down, so I broke down the wrong fight. So I do not have an official pick on this, but I will probably follow you because I am not a big Louis Sutherland fan, especially after that last fight, like you mentioned. So I'll move on to the next fight, which I think this fight has a chance to be a real banger, maybe the fight of the night. It's Dayar Nurgaze taking on Bruno Lopez.
So for this fight, I actually parlayed Manuel Sousa. I'm sorry. So to go back on the Sousa fight, I parlayed Sousa with the Lopes fight not going the distance. So the Lopes fight and Sousa not going the distance, that will get you to 1 unit minus 125.
Okay, I don't hate that at all. So, what was the odds on this for this fight?
So for the Lopez fight to not go the distance, you're getting that at almost minus 300. And obviously Sousa being a big favorite, you're getting that at about minus 300. If you put those together in a parlay, it's going to get you to minus 125. I misspoke on the Sousa fight inside the distance. I was wondering why our lines were so off when you were saying Sousa inside the distance is only plus 105. But yes, corrected. Sousa and the Lopes fight to not go the distance as a parlay get you to minus 125.
Okay, the pick I came to on this fight is just Nurgaze minus 165. I just think he's going to find the win. He's not super impressive. I think the odds actually have moved down a little bit. I'm seeing him at 145 right now, so that's helpful that it's come down a little bit. But I do think he'll be able to get the win, but he can always get subbed. He's been subbed multiple times before, so that does scare me a little bit. I think we're moving on to the prelim main event. It's a heavyweight matchup between Steven Asplund and Guillermo Pat. Asplund's a pretty big favorite at minus 300. I think he only has one fight in the UFC, but this guy used to be, I think, 500 pounds, so coming in a big favor. I don't know how I feel about him, honestly, but I'm interested to see what you think of this fight.
So I think he's a big favorite, and I actually like him. I think for a guy that used to be 500 pounds, he moves really well. He seems really durable. I like Asplund in this one. Obviously, too big of a favorite for me to just straight up to pick him. But I have him as well with our next fight for a parlay. But a side bet I do like is the Asplund fight not to go the distance. Surprisingly, you're getting that at minus 160, which isn't that bad. So I like that a lot.
No, that's not that bad at all. All right, well, I'm glad that you like him because I kept going back and forth, and I kind of landed on I do kind of like him. The pick I landed on is him to win by first or second round KO. It's plus 220. It's not a bet I love, but I'm really not a Guillermo Pat fan, so it was just as much a bet against him as it was a bet on Asplund. I'm somewhat hopeful that he can be at least entertaining in the future in the heavyweight division because they need more guys in that division for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, the next fight of the night, the opener of the main card, is an interesting fight. It should be a banger. It's Billy Ray Goff coming back from a break. He's a big underdog at plus 310, taking on Ty Miller, who's minus 400. This is a fight that I love my pick. I want to see where you went first, but this is probably my pick of the night.
So this is one I have Asplund with Ty Miller. I think Billy Ray, he's fun to watch, right? But he puts himself in a lot of trouble. I think Ty Miller's just better. I mean, he's a big favorite. There's a lot of big favorites on this one I do like, but I think if you parlay them together, you get decent value. If you put Asplund money line with Ty Miller money line, you're going to get minus 150. I think that's pretty good. I mean, if you bet either of these guys straight up, you lose. You're losing a lot anyway. So I think you're getting the value of putting them together. Minus 150 is not bad, but I don't like this one going the distance either. I definitely see a finish happening, most likely by Miller. But another one, for this fight just to not to go the distance, I think you're getting good money there too. I think that is also about minus 160.
Okay, yeah, I do not see this fight going the distance either. My pick of the night is Ty Miller inside the distance. It's even money right now, plus 100. I'm putting 3 units on it. I like the way that Billy Ray Goff fights, but I think he is going to get down on the scorecards and just be so aggressive trying to get back in the fight. He'll get caught and knocked out. At least that's what I hope because I'm putting a lot on Ty Miller being as good of a prospect as I hope he is.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's safe.
Yep, and all right, on to KJ's favorite division, women's star weight. We got Amanda Lemos taking on Alexia Thanera. Whole lot on this. This Thanera girl is pretty good for her weight class, taking on an older fighter. What do you think about this one?
You kind of nailed it. That's exactly why I went the way that I did on this one. Tayanara, that's my attempt at saying her name. She's looked real good. I watched a little bit of tape on her. I'll be honest, I don't watch a ton on women's fights, but Amanda Lemos is someone that was really doing well in her division, but she kind of hit a halt. And her being the age that she is and getting older in that division, I just don't see her really making another push back to like the title picture or even in the top five. Going all the way back to one of the first fights, this is who I have Julianne Miller parlayed with. If you go the Miller money line and the Tainara money line, parlay those together, you're getting about minus 120. I like that. Good for a unit too. I think they both win.
They don't call you the star weight king for no reason. Parlaying the women's star weight. So I'm on Thanera inside the distance. It's plus 250. It's a bet I fully anticipate placing and just hating the entire time. I hate watch this for 15 minutes and it goes to a boring decision. But she kind of runs through people when she's better than him. And I'm just hoping that Lemos is just a little too old and gets kind of exposed by the young up and comer. Someone who is not a young up and comer at all, though, is Darren Elkins. I think he's 42. He's a big underdog taking on Yadier Deval, who is currently minus 800. Those odds just keep climbing. What do you think on this one? I know you're a big Elkins guy overall.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like Darren Elkins, but I mentioned this to you the other night, right? Like, I couldn't even believe the guy was on this card. He's 42. Team Alpha Male needs to be like, bud. I know it says the damage on your chest, but how much damage are we gonna put you through? I didn't realize that he was going to be that big of an underdog. You can't go money line on this one. But an interesting line. Now, you're going to pay a little bit for it, but you can get the Darren Elkins fight under 2.5 rounds at minus 235. That's 2 units for me. I get paying minus 235 isn't ideal, but it ain't going to the judges. I like this one for 2 units. Elkins gets damaged. He's going to lose, most likely. But if he pulls something out of his hat, we're covered. Under 2.5, no doubt.
Okay, I'm not on the under 2.5. I did look at that. I thought that was just a little too much. I did take Yadier by KO, though. I just think Elkins is too old. He'll get caught. I don't think he's super easy to sub. I was laughing looking at doing some research on him. The last time he got subbed was 2010 by Charles Oliveira, and I was not yet 21 at that time. I was a freshman in college, so it has been quite a long time since he has been subbed. So I'm hoping it's not the sub. I think he will get finished and knocked out.
I think that's a safe bet.
The next fight of the night was the fight I kind of struggled to pick. I think the most. It's 2 guys I'm not the biggest fans of, but 2 guys I don't hate the way they fight, and they're kind of entertaining fighters. It's Diego Ferreira, who's minus 175, taking on Billy Quarantillo.
I'll take this one if you don't mind. I'm going to lead with this. I actually am pretty confident in this one. So you got Diego Ferreira versus Billy Quarantillo. Quarantillo, he, somewhat local to me. I like him. And he's a good dude. He's 37 years old. My struggle with him, he's coming off a really bad injury. Like, I didn't know if he was going to fight again. So, he's got love for the game. I'm happy to see him healthy, getting back in there. But Diego Ferreira is really good. He's good on the feet. He's good on the ground. I think getting Ferreira at minus 175 is worth 2 units for me. Billy, like I said, really tough kid. I wouldn't be shocked if he found a way to win, but I just don't see it happening at only minus 175. I'll take that Fajita money line, and I'll throw 2 units on it.
Okay, wow. That's a good lean. I'm on that same side. I don't have 2 units. I did come to that side. I'm just not the biggest Billy Q guy. He's coming up to 155. I have not had the best luck recently betting against guys coming up in weight. I guess it's not luck. Bobby Knuckles just taught me that coming up in weight is not always the worst thing, but I don't think we can really compare Billy Q to Bobby Knuckles, so I'm falling on the same side as you, and I'll be on Diego. And that takes us to the main event of the night, which is a fight where I could see going very differently, either a complete banger or a real boring fight, but it's Matthias Gamrot taking on Quillen Salkeld. What do you got in this one?
Well, I agree with you. I actually think that Salkeld, I think he's really fun to watch. He has some mean calf kicks. We've seen him really put people in danger there. He's definitely the more fun fighter out of the two, but Gamrot is just one of those guys that can take you down and keep you there. And I don't think we've seen Salkeld versus anyone like that yet. I don't love going one way or the other in this one, but if you're going to give me Gamrot at plus money in this, I think I kind of have to lean that way. I'm only going half a unit over here on the money line part for Gamrot. But again, he is someone that can be boring. I don't love this main event, so I hate these picks, but I'm going to go with the Gamrot Salkeld fight over 3.5 rounds, minus 135 if you're getting that line. I like that for a unit. Again, I don't like betting overs, but I feel like I have to here.
Okay, I think that over is hopefully a loss for you because I think that Salkeld could get it done early. I'm questioning Gamrot's chin at this point. He's gotten dropped a ton recently. It seems like every fight. I mean, I know he's fighting the best of the best, but I just think that we've seen Gamrot lose to this body type a few times in Dan Hooker and Oliveira, kind of the longer guys that can strike and grapple a little bit. That's kind of what I see in Quillen. So I'm taking him by KO. I just think has some nasty striking, and I think that's what it's going to do. I think Gamrot will maybe be able to take him down once or twice, but I think he'll be able to work his way back up and eventually find the finish on the feet.
This is one I don't hate you winning. Like I said, I'm not super confident in it. So if he can get him out of there early, I'll be happy to see it. It might be a loss on mine, but we're going to get a bunch of units earlier on, so that's okay.
Yeah, and this is a bet where I could see myself texting you like 90 seconds in, being like, "God damn it! Like, fuck, you read this one so right. He has no chance to compete with this wrestling." But I hope that's not it because there's nothing I hate more than a 5-rounder that's just all wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling's kind of like the equivalent to like the NBA, right? Just like talented guys, they're good at what they do, but just kind of boring and don't really take any chances and just not a tough aspect or a tough sport to play, right?
Yeah, I agree. Toughness is not basketball, guys. That's not basketball's forte. But you know who is tough? Who reminds me of a hockey player? It's a guy that goes by the name Mark Vologden. He doesn't have an athletic bone in his body, but he's tough as nails. And you can count on him to shake your hand after just taking a beating. So he reminds me a lot of a hockey guy. You got any basketball guys anyone in the UFC reminds you of?
You know what? I've been thinking on this one. I've been trying to find like an NBA guy. I guess if I had to pick one, it would probably be Jordan Levitt. He only tries to go to the ground because he's scared to get hit. He's kind of LeBron-esque in the fact that he likes to kind of twerk when he wins, but he doesn't win that often. But he's kind of a showboat. Not a big fan of him. He's kind of a little wimp. He did beat one of our guys on the card here tonight. That's probably all you hear about. But yeah, I think Jordan Levitt's a good one because he's kind of a wimp.
Yeah, he does kind of have those long limbs too. Kind of looks like a basketball guy. I think that's a pretty good one overall.
I wanted
all right,
to say
thanks for
Sean
jumping
O'Malley,
on.
but Sean O'Malley's so good, right? But Sean O'Malley does
I
like the
know.
dribbling when he's in the cage. He's fun to watch. So I don't want to give you that because I like Sean. So and he'd probably show up at my house. He's like,
Yeah, that would have been way too much of a compliment to the basketball community. But thanks for jumping on. I am actually at a wedding this weekend, so I will not be able to do a live reaction. I'm going to have to catch up on the fights afterwards and just be watching from my phone or just watching the reaction. So we'll catch up next week.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll probably do my own reaction to brag about how many units I get. We're not on the same page on a ton of these fights. I hope that you make it out and you're able to pay your bills on Monday. But if you need anything, I expect mine to cash in. So I'll help you out, bud. Have a nice time this weekend.
Awesome. I'll be excited to see your reaction video.
That's the show, now you know. This is how the real ones roll. Big thanks, good night, see you down the road on the Nard Dog Sports Show.